Welcome to the sustainability series, where men didn't just get back in charge, they stayed in charge. Now, for most health transformations, they don't last. 80 to 95% of people regain the weight within 2 years. But the men that you're going to meet in this series, they've beaten those odds. Not in a perfect environment, but in the real world, whilst working, traveling, raising families, and carrying the pressure that comes with being responsible for so much. Today, I'm speaking to Tony Thomas, who completed the Back in Charge blueprint nearly a year and a half ago. And he has kept his results, his routines, and his identity shift ever since. Now, this conversation isn't about what happened during the program. It's about what happened after. How was Tony able to handle stress, setbacks, travel, work demands, and still stayed in charge of his health, his energy, and his life? So let's get into it. Tony, thank you so much for joining us today. I really, really do appreciate it. So Tony, I want to think back, okay? I want to think back, nearly 2 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
What was happening in your life when you realized that your health was slipping out of your hands?
My health wasn't in a good place at the time, and I even hesitated starting, obviously, this program because I wasn't feeling that great. However, I knew I had to change and change quickly because my health had deteriorated quite a lot since I was 60, and I had a heart attack. And for a few years after that, I put on a lot of weight. So it was, if you like, a combination of health deteriorated, gained weight. It's a spiral, and you're only heading in one direction. So it did worry me a lot. And I am running my own business, which was having, obviously, my health was having a negative impact on that. So I knew I had to do something. And I found your program, and I thought, why not? Let's give it a go.
That's it, right? That's it. Now, when you said that, you hit 60 and then your health started to deteriorate, in what ways, was you noticing your health deteriorating?
Well, just obviously because I was overweight, then and had a heart attack, obviously shortly before. Then low energy, lack of focus. I suppose, just going through the motions on occasions. No, lack of joy, I would say, in my life to some extent.
Yeah.
If you're struggling every day, then life is not fun.
So what impacts, like you say, lack of joy and, lack of, it's not fun, right? What impact was, those health implications, like the heart attack, I totally forgot about that. Again, what impact was that having on your day-to-day then?
Well, I wasn't doing the things that makes me happy and the things I enjoy. So, for example, I've always liked my mountain biking. As you remember from previous conversations, I used to like
and the photos.
They still come. They still coming. Yeah,
that's it.
Night riding as well this week. So,
Nice.
I used to enjoy going to the gym and just playing sports generally. But all that had stopped, and I wanted to be healthy enough and fit enough to be able to do those things again.
Nice. So before you, like you said, you decided to join the Back in Charge blueprint.
Yeah.
What had you tried previously to try and rectify, like the weight, the energy, the health implications?
Well, nothing structured, just obviously, if you like, trying to do things yourself, which is, trying to cut down on food, trying to do a bit more exercise, which is fine. But what I have learned from this is that for it to work, things have to become a habit. You can have all the motivation in the world, but things have to become a habit and build into your daily routine. And prior to obviously the program that you offer, then I wasn't doing that.
No,
Work and life got in the way.
Work and life got in the way, you say?
Yeah.
Yeah, cool. Which is quite common with guys, isn't it? It's like the priorities are, like they need to go to work, and then all of that is there. Nice. So you came into the Back in Charge Blueprint, right? We're just going to touch on it briefly, but what was like? Think back, to your time. Like, what was your experience of the Back in Charge Blueprint?
Well, it obviously was very positive from my point of view. I think in terms of, I learned a lot about myself in terms of I needed more of a structure. I am a very structured person, generally speaking, but I needed a framework or a structure, if you like, to be able to turn my health and my fitness around. And the Back in Charge program offers that.
Nice. And was there anything that surprised you about the Back in Charge Blueprint?
How easy it was, or how simple it was, if I'm honest. There's nothing complicated in it. There's just a series of steps. And during the program, obviously, you build on each of those steps. So it's easily maintained and manageable. You've got some tools, obviously, to help people as well within that. Measurements and sort of exercises and all those types of things. But it's given me the kickstart I needed.
Yeah, nice. I saw your face when you went, like, just when you said it, was like, oh, how easy it is. It's like you didn't want to say that.
Like, yeah, absolutely. So I think when you start anything new, people are generally, and I'm no different, a little bit apprehensive. Is it going to work for me, etc. And I felt I had nothing to lose because things are going in the wrong direction for me. So, but I was pleasantly surprised that through the series of steps over the weeks, that it was, I found it relatively easy. But again, maybe that's down to not just obviously the program itself, but obviously self-discipline.
Yeah, of course, and having that willingness to, to try it and to do the work.
Yeah.
So because again, like there's gonna be, it's not always going to be easy.
Oh, there's always going to be parts in there. Look, as I said to you earlier, life gets in the way sometimes, but it's all right to miss a day or so, but you can catch up. What you can't do is miss weeks at a time, unless obviously there's something totally unexpected and out of your control. But you can still get back into it because you've got this framework, and that framework is easy to follow.
Nice. Cool. So what would you say was the biggest internal shift that you had during the time from the Back in Charge Blueprint?
Well, one was a conscious effort or conscious decision to want to change, want to improve, want to get my health and my fitness back, and just start to enjoy life again. But in terms of the program itself, it was things like using obviously the apps or the tools to measure what you're eating, your steps, also exercise, all those types of things. The other thing which was great during the program is obviously we had group sessions where we all got together and discussing obviously our progress, things that were working well for us, some things that were not. So you felt as if you weren't on your own. And again, sometimes that's an issue when you try to do things yourself.
Yeah, having that support, that camaraderie as well with the other gents in the program, and
absolutely,
and be like, you know what, I'm going through that as well, or I went through that myself. Just having that group support. So
I think support is sometimes underrated, and I think this is just an example. Is that you're not the only one that thinks or feels the way you do, and there's other people out there the same, and together you can definitely progress much better and quicker than you would if you tried these things on your own.
Yeah, nice. So Tony, let's fast forward to now.
Yeah.
Like what does staying back in charge look like in your everyday life now?
Well, as I alluded to earlier, for me, it's about habits. I have a routine. So my routine in terms of I watch very much what I eat, but not overly. I'm just conscious of what I'm eating. And certainly no longer eat, if you like, large portions of food. It's sensible portions, the way that you've shown us on the program. In terms of exercise, I do exercise on more or less certain times of the day and virtually every day in some form of exercise, whether that is cycling or mountain biking, whether that's pickleball, as you know, I'm a big fan of. And also,
You're more, sorry, Tony, you're more than a fan of. You're like a national champion, right?
I've become a little bit addicted to it, yes.
That's it.
I've won a few tournaments and a few medals over the last 12 months. So, yes. And it's something that, again, the more you do, the more you enjoy it. And it's the same principle. You do it as a group. So it does make things much more enjoyable. And the gym. I decided to do the gym because, again, I had a lot of stiff joints, certainly in the lower back and knees, etc. And doing gym work, which is mostly circuits or CrossFit, again in a group setting, has helped me to, if you like, improve on my strength and my mobility, which has also helped with my balance. And in turn, I can play pickleball even better.
That's it, right? Strong up here. That's it. Exactly. Yeah, no, that's the thing. I see on your socials, like you're going to like this gym with.
Yeah.
Is it like you have like? Is it like a small group personal training?
Yeah.
Or
So the
like
gym
that,
I'm going to part of now is a gym called CF72, but it's fitness. But it has two groups. One is an open group. The group I belong to, which is more of a smaller group, and again, more personalized coaching, is the 50s plus group.
Nice.
And so it's a lot more intimate, if you like, in terms of how we work together. So
yeah, nice. Now, see, I just want to touch on that if that's okay. Now, a lot of guys, that I speak to as well, they're like, "Oh yeah, I've got a personal trainer. I've had a personal trainer for years." But in your words, like, what would you say is the difference between like having a personal trainer, but then the work that we did in the Back in Charge blueprint?
well, in many respects, it's similar. You have whether it's a structure, whether it's a series of exercise, and then you go through those. And again, like you were doing, you sort of build on that and you vary it. So again, it doesn't become monotonous; it becomes enjoyable. But you're in it together with the other people in there. So there are lots of similarities between the two, but both are very positive and helps you get where you want to be.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. Because like the personal training is there in person. It's there, and you're following that structure for the exercise and the support and all of that. But then, like you said, it's like having this is more about the behavior. Like you said earlier, it's about the behaviors and the habits and having that structure on your day to day.
Yeah.
So it goes hand in hand, doesn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. It's very much complements each other.
Yeah, nice. So what other wins? What other positives have been happened in your life since we?
Well, I'm more productive from a work point of view, so I've got a lot more energy. I still work silly hours, so it's always a balancing act. I've got a lot more energy in terms of for the family, and I'm more present when I'm there, because that always wasn't the case, and just generally enjoying life a lot more.
That's it. Wins all round.
Yeah, and sleeping better, because I did struggle with sleep.
That's right. Yeah, I do remember. Yeah, go on. So talk to me. Like, what was your sleep like? What was your sleep like before, and what's it like?
my sleep patterns were all over the place. I would probably be waking up 2 or 3 times, if not more, nights, and then struggling to go back to sleep. So if I was getting 3 or 4 hours of sleep on average before I joined Back in Charge, then that was probably what the amount of sleep I was getting. Now my sleep pattern is, if I wake up once a night, that's probably about it, but I don't struggle as much, or if ever, to go back to sleep these days. So I'm having probably a good 6 to 7 hours sleep most nights, which is a big improvement to what I was before. So which means then obviously your body is recovering, especially with the amount of exercise I'm doing at the same time. And then I'm ready to go then the following day. Whereas when you're not sleeping, you just feel like you're treading water. It's heavy going when you can't sleep and you have got no energy.
Completely. And now, like you're saying, you're more active. You're still working silly hours at work, but you're being more present as well with the family. And look at that. Now you're getting more energy through you sleeping better.
Yes.
To then be able to do that.
Yes.
That's great. Again, sleep is so underestimated. It's not just about going to bed for longer. It's about improving your health so then you can then sleep better.
Yeah. So one of the big things I've learned is that if you don't have proper sleep, then you are going to struggle, and your health obviously will suffer as a result. And stress is a big factor. Look, I'm in a stressful environment in terms of the work I do. And as a result of that, then anything I can do that relieves that stress, which I've found that so far that right balance, then it's got to help.
Yeah, that's it. So let's touch on stress. Because that's what I was going to move on to next. Is like the challenges. So like stress. Okay, so how would you previously have handled stress and challenges in your life, Tony?
Well, I would have handled them, if you like, but it's a question of there would have been a price to pay. I would have suffered probably at the end of the week, or a build-up of just feeling unwell. Now, stress is really an issue. Yes, I still get stressed, but not to the extent I was. And but I'm able to, because I'm able to switch off because I'm doing other things. It's not just work, which is what it was. Then I've got a release mechanism by doing these other things I enjoy doing. So stress then is not constantly there, which it was previously.
Nice. So just to clarify, because you've got yourself in a much better condition.
Yes.
Are you able to?
Yeah, mentally,
physically, mentally, emotionally.
Yeah.
Like you're able to deal better with the challenges and the stresses now.
Yes.
But then also you're able to cut yourself off from them. Correct. To get that boundary there, so then you can then still go and do the things that you want to do to make yourself feel good.
Yeah, spot on.
Yeah, that's it. So again, it's like the fact is that the stresses just haven't stopped. You're just able to handle them better.
Yes.
Amazing. And like how would like you said about your family and like at work, like how would the people around you, how would you say that they would describe the difference that they've seen in you since finishing the Back in Charge Blueprint 17 months ago?
All of my family are extremely pleased in terms of the transformation that they've seen. They see me more like I used to be, rather than somebody that, again, was clearly always stressed, clearly struggling, and were, if I'm honest, worried about me in terms of obviously, what things would be, what it could become from a health point of view. But now, if anything, and my sons are in particular, think, well, you're going to outlast us, Dad. So, you're much fitter than what we are. So
That's it, but that's the thing, like last week was talking to Peter, and Peter, he came through the Back in Charge blueprint, and that weekend he had helped his daughter move house, but he was fitter than his son-in-law, but moving all the boxes, and it's a bit like you, like now, like you're saying that, your sons are saying, oh, you're going to outlive us, but like he said in jest. But there is some truth in it, to some degree, because like you're looking after yourself. So by you doing that, you have actually increased your longevity.
Oh, absolutely. And but it's not just the length of time that you live, Adam. It's also the quality of life.
Quality, yeah.
And without obviously the quality, then longevity is maybe sometimes a curse rather than a blessing. But if you can have both, then life can be wonderful. So
that's it. So what's next, Tony? Tell me, like what's the next? Are you like you're coming from national pickleball champion? Is you going to hit the international scene? Like what's next?
We shall see. We shall see. This year is going to be a year where obviously I'm more established as a player, and hopefully just be able to go to the next stage. But pickleball is a wonderful sport for all ages, all shapes, sizes, and abilities, and it's growing at the rate of knots in the UK as well as the rest of the world, and it's just good fun. It's very sociable, and I love it. And yes, but I'm also very competitive, so I like to do well.
Yeah, I know. I can see that. I can see that. You can really see that.
I got mine practice in the room
against the wall in between meetings. That's what it is. That's what it is. I love it. I love it. But what's next for you? Like, what have you got plans? In the next 6 to 12 months.
From a training point of view.
Yeah, well, just life. Something that
look, it's all things. So I think in terms of health and fitness, to start with that, then I'm trying to do a little bit more, but I'm also conscious I can't do too much because obviously there's a limit to what you can do because you still need to recover. I still want to lose a little bit more weight, but not too much because I'm thereabouts on target we originally had. I feel much stronger, so it's just maintaining that and improving where I can. From a life point of view or personal point of view, then it's just to enjoy my life, enjoy the people I like spending time with. Obviously, same with obviously family, spend more time with family, and again be present. So I'm in a good space at the moment compared to where I was when I first joined Back in Charge. So I think it's more fine-tuning things now. And hopefully my wife is she's feeling better because her health hasn't been great either. Then we can start going on nice longer holidays again. So nice. Might be seeing you in Cyprus or wherever you might end up.
That's it. Yeah, anytime. You're more than welcome, Tony. More than welcome to come over to Cyprus. So for Tony, finally, what would you say for any men that are watching who feel stuck or out of control? What would you like them to know?
Well, first of all, they need to make a change. And making change on your own is very difficult. So I would always suggest, with the experiences I've had, is to join a supportive group. And I can't think of a better group to join or a program than you as Adam, which is obviously the Back in Charge program. You kickstarted what I needed, give me the tools, etc., to, if you like, change my life, and I've done that. And again, I'm seeing the benefits of doing that now, and so is my family and the people around me. Whether that's work, family, friends, etc. So I'm probably a much happier person to be around these days.
And that's what it's all about, is being happy. At the end of the day, we just want to be happy. So, and if you're achieving that, I'm so happy for you, Tony. And again, it's just, I just love seeing your updates. You're seeing your stories on Instagram. It's, you know, like pickleball, or you're at the gym, or you're out on your bike or out on a walk. It's just really, really good to see. It's really, really good to see. So Tony, like, you know, just well done on everything that you've achieved.
Well, thank you for the kickstart, sir.
You're welcome. So thank you for joining us on today's episode of the Sustainability Series. Now, most men, they don't struggle to lose weight, but they struggle to keep it off, especially when life gets busy, stressful, unpredictable. But what you've heard today is proof that long-term change is possible, even for men who once believed it wasn't. Now, if something in this conversation has resonated, or if you feel like you've been holding everything together while your own health is quickly slipping away into the background, like, this is your reminder. You can take back control and also keep it. I'm Adam Alexander. Thank you for watching the Sustainability Series, where men didn't just get back in charge,